I highly suggest you stop talking about my nephew.
Who's scared of you now?
I'm sorry, I don't talk llama.
Y'all looking stupid right now.
Movies. Who doesn't like them? Coupling that with my love for Big Brother, I've always been at the very least interested whenever a movie screening reward would come to the house. Across the show's 25 seasons, this nice perk has appeared in the game 13 times. As the reward recently appeared to promote the Exorcist believer in Big Brother 25, I figured there's no better time to look over all of its outings through the last 20 plus years. That being said, get ready to buy your overpriced popcorn and stale candy, cause we're heading to the Big Brother cinema.
I'm excited to watch a movie. It's been 60 plus days since I've seen a movie, and I get to watch it with some of my friends.
To see the first instance of this reward, we're going all the way back to 2001 with Big Brother 2. These folks were begging for any movie to watch to break up the monotony of being cut off from the outside world.
They could get like a movie theater.
They don't have to do that, dude. They can just play us a movie in here.
Fine, then bring a movie in.
The final five each had to chip away at ice blocks that contained tickets to a movie theater with popcorn, drinks, and candies galore. Honestly, the hype they have for the room alone is just super entertaining to me.
60-inch viewing screen, theater seats, concession stand.
Instead of having an actual ice pick to chip with though, all they had was a dull wooden stick and a bucket to fill with pool water to dump over the ice. Bunky ended up winning the competition, which the house guys were then told was for the movie American Pie 2. In a shocking twist, he got to take one more person with him, which he only had 3 minutes to decide. With that time, Bunky allowed everyone to explain why they think they should go, to which Nicole was by far the most wanting to go.
I took everybody who hadn't seen it to go see it because they hadn't gone to see it yet.
American Pie 1?
American Pie 1. Love that movie, and I didn't put you on the block last week.
Oh!
I didn't put you on the block.
Ultimately though, he decided to take the humble Monica, who seemingly ended up really enjoying the film.
I enjoyed the movie. That was the greatest gift that somebody could give me at this point in this game. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The next screening would be from Big Brother 4 back in 2003. After the creepy mime entered the BB house at the final 3, June, Allison, and Robert got the chance to play a luxury comp where the winner and one other person would watch the film Runaway Jury. Robert was clearly the most excited for the movie by far.
I was so excited. I mean, I love John Grisham. I've seen all his movies. I've read all his books.
While Allison couldn't seem less interested if she tried, until they mentioned walking the red carpet premiere of the movie. The competition involved them throwing Velcro balls at the mime as he'd run around with a Velcro suit. The first to get 3 balls stuck on him won. Robert ended up getting 3 balls on him first, and chose Allison over June as he just thought she'd be more fun to watch the movie with.
Allie.
Thanks.
I picked Allison. I just think she'd be more fun.
At the end of the day, Allison and Robert both seemed to enjoy the film quite a bit, while June got to spend some quality time with the mime before his departure.
You're awesome. Thank you.
In the first week of jury for Big Brother 5, the final 9 house guests got the chance to play in a luxury comp to attend an early screening of the film Without a Paddle. They were split into 3 teams of 3, those being Marvin, Michael, and Karen, Adrian, Natalie, and Nokomis, and Diane, Drew, and Will.
We were choosing teams. I thought definitely Diane and definitely Will. That'd be a great 2 people to have with me.
I ended up getting stuck with the twins.
Cowboy and MILF.
Something I appreciate about this comp was that it really embraced the movie theme. They had to piece together a red carpet puzzle, which was followed up with searching through a large bowl of M&Ms for a golden M&M to secure the win. At the puzzle portion of the comp, Drew and Diane had a steady lead over the other 2 teams. With ample time to succeed, Will just kept scooping M&Ms out of the bowl until he found the golden one. As the 3 of them walked into their theater reward, it seemed like they were just more excited to indulge in the popcorn and snacks than actually watch the movie. More than anything else, Diane and Drew seemed to just enjoy being on a movie date with each other, while Will just seemed happy to step away from the game for a moment.
Drew and I got to have our first movie date, and it was kind of like back in junior high when you had to bring one of your friends because you were too nervous to go on the date by yourself.
Big Brother 6 had a pretty cool build-up to its movie competition, having quarters placed all around the house, which the house guests would place in the gumball machine to reveal and admit one ticket. Sadly, only 6 of the 10 people got these tickets that would allow them to compete to win a screening of the film Four Brothers. The 2 teams of 3 were Bo, Yvette, and Maggie, and Jennifer, Rachel, and Sarah. Following BB5's movie-themed comp, this one was as well, having the team screw light bulbs into marquee boards to reveal a hidden message. As Jennifer, Rachel, and Sarah were the first to get the sold-out message solved, those 3 won the competition.
I just wanted to go
out there and do my best, and plus it always helps to beat Maggie at stuff. That's always fun.
The three women weren't the most engaged with the movie, but Rachel got a kick out of how there were three women watching a gritty action flick made for the boys.
The movie was action-packed, full of guns and violence and everything a man would love. And there were three chicks watching it.
By the end, they all at least seemed to agree that it was nice to see Mark Wahlberg's face, and honestly, I can't disagree with them.
Mark!
He's cute. Yeah.
The following season of Big Brother All-Stars gave the house guests the chance to watch a screening of Talladega Nights' The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. From their reactions to the trailer, it seemed like everyone had at least some interest in seeing it, with the exception of Marcellus and Will. After putting himself on slop for 60 days to win the veto the previous week, Chicken George was yearning to win the competition so he could eat some real food.
Oh, when I heard there was stuff to eat, I want this so bad.
The teams for this challenge had 5 players each, the first being Danielle, Diane, James, Janelle, and Will. As Boogie had previously injured his foot while celebrating the veto win earlier in the episode, he was only allowed to pick one of the teams to win, and if correct, he could join them to the movie. As Talladega Nights focused on a race car driver, the competition involved the All-Stars spinning around in the car, then having to climb out and perform pit crew tasks on it. I love how little of a shit James seems to be giving right here while everyone else is screaming.
Oh my god, this is going so fast, we're all gonna die! Slow it down!
The other team of Chicken George, Kaser, Erica, Howie, and Marcellus came next, and George's reactions are absolutely everything.
So cool, a NASCAR!
Let's do it for Georgie!
Yes, a NASCAR. It was just so neat to get inside an actual race car. Come on, E. I kind of slid out of there pretty fast and helping the rest of the people get out. I thought I did good at it today.
With the first team coming out on top and Boogie choosing them, the 6 got to watch the film, and Chicken George just got a broken heart.
I was bummed out. Hey, it would have been nice to eat something besides what I'm eating now. Put it that way, but just wasn't meant to be. That's all.
As Will had been on slop that week, he was ecstatic to eat the plethora of candy laid out for them. Also, for what it's worth, Diane was the first of only 2 house guests ever to win both movie screening awards she competed in. The entire group seemed to enjoy the movie, but the only real DRs we got were from Danielle and Will, who each appreciated the moment they had to step away from the game.
I thought the movie was great. Will Ferrell is hilarious.
Being in the darkened theater really took me away. It really allowed me to have a deep breath, sort of get away from the Big Brother house for a little while, even if it was only for 2 hours.
The next 2 seasons, including the movie screening reward, each had 2 movies throughout the season. The first being Big Brother 9, where the movie screening was for the film 21, which everyone seemed excited for aside from James, who looked disgusted. Playing off the film's poker narrative, there were numbered cards with the house guest's face that would have to be added up to 21. With this being an individual comp, whichever of the 8 remaining house guests got 4 correct guesses got to choose 3 other people to come to the movie with them. Aside from Adam and Natalie each getting 1 chip, it was pretty much an easy sweep from Ryan. After selecting Adam, Natalie, and James to be his guests, he got the opportunity to gamble again to win a Las Vegas vacation in addition to the movie by playing 21 against Adam. As he would end up losing, the other 4 of Chelsea, Joshua, James, and Sharon ended up winning the screening. What's even worse is that in the popcorn buckets those 4 got for the screening, one of them contained the ticket for the Vegas vacation that Ryan previously lost to. Chelsea ended up winning it, which I guess was a decent consolation prize for getting evicted that same week, but by far, Sheila seemed the most excited to see the movie. So much so that I found myself getting excited for her.
I'm the biggest movie buff ever, so to see the movie trailer was just wow. I was so excited.
Really good.
I thought 21 was amazing, and I thought it was a real treat, and it was a nice gift.
Good times, you guys.
Good
times.
The second screening was for Ashton Kutcher and Cameron Diaz's What Happens in Vegas. This occurred at the final 4, with the teams being Ryan and Sharon and, fittingly enough, Adam and Sheila. The luxury comp also included a shopping spree and tickets to the red carpet premiere. The competition itself involved the players smashing breakaway wine bottles to find rings with dice on them and hang them up on a 3x3 chart. With a wheel that included all 9 stills, the game played out like roulette. Whichever team puts their ring on the picture the wheel lands on would win the screening. With Adam and Sheila getting 3 and Ryan and Sharon getting the other 6, Ryan and Sharon ended up winning the comp. The 2 of them would watch the movie out in the backyard, which I think is my favorite location of all of the screenings thus far. They both seemed to get a major kick out of it, and unlike the previous screening, I felt these reactions were a little more real.
The movie was very, very good. I'm a very big Ashton Kutcher fan, and I love Cameron Diaz, so see it early before anybody else is really cool.
You know, it was a funny movie, and I get to go watch it again. I get to go watch it in the premiere again, so I'm excited about that. You know, it's definitely a movie that's worth seeing twice.
As season 10 didn't have any movie reward, we're skipping over to BB11. With just one eviction down up to this point in the season, it was surprising to see just how excited the house guests were for this movie. I think the insane dog barking could be Russell, but I honestly have no idea. All I know is that I'm thoroughly entertained every time I watch that clip. Anywho, the screening was for the romantic comedy The Ugly Truth. I love Ronnie's single confessional where he talks about how he thinks Katherine Heigl is attractive as opposed to being excited for the film itself.
I think Katherine Heigl is beautiful.
Something that made the competition more exciting was that Dan Giesling, the GOAT, came back to host it. Jesse's reaction to this was also priceless.
Dan was not an ally of mine in Big Brother 10. He's the reason I went home. I would much rather see a porcupine walking backwards onto the stage than Dan.
In the spirit of the movie, the competition split the girls and guys to see which knew more about how the others would react in certain scenarios. For example, one of the first questions was asking what pickup line Jordan would react best to out of two options. Funny enough, Jeff, who would end up marrying her, chose incorrectly. Casey ended up pulling out the win for the men, to which he was initially excited to see who he'd be going with. As Jeff was the first guest for the women, it's worth mentioning that not only did Jordan get his answer wrong, but the first few women just straight up roasted him.
Super fan. But I should have known you like stupid girls because you're not that bright yourself.
It's gonna get ugly in here, man.
The challenge also brought us this clip of Ronnie, so have fun sleeping at night. Towards the end of the women's heat, it was a tie between Michelle, Shima, and Natalie with 4 apiece, to which Casey explains how he'd least like Shima to win. And of course, with the BB gods overhearing this, Shima ended up pulling out the win, which was pretty funny in retrospect.
You have won the right to go see The Ugly Truth with Casey.
She and I think, can put on our happy face, our fake smile.
In addition to winning the screening, Casey and Shima also had to choose a clique to make have-nots, which immediately ignited an argument between the two.
Rock, scissors, best 2 out of 3.
Oh, you really want to go home, don't you?
Well, are you the HOH?
Oh, no, but I am on that team.
What team is that?
The Brains.
You know what, Shima? You can have your way.
The reward would eventually play out in the following episode, with the first comment on the film from either of the two being Shima talking about how hot Gerard Butler is.
He's hot. Please give Gerard Butler my number. Even if you want to put it at the bottom of the screen right now, everyone else would get it, but you know, I'll make an exception if Gerard calls me. Yeah, it's totally fine.
The only other real comment seemed to be Casey acknowledging Flo Rida in the end credits.
Flo Rida!
So it should go without saying that the two seem to enjoy stepping away from the game more than the movie itself. I also love how much they took advantage of the candy. I don't remember anyone else in previous rewards doing that, so props to them. The second movie reward comp would come a few weeks later in episode 14, which was for the film The Goods starring Jeremy Piven, who also came in to introduce the reward to the house guests. Jeff seemed blown away by his entrance to the point that he'd even put him in his top 8 of his most excited celebrities to enter the house.
If any celebrity could come in the house, Jeremy Piven is definitely up there. I would say, I'm not even going to say top 10, maybe top 8.
After tearing into the house guests, he revealed that the competition would be played in 2 teams of 4. The competition involved the house guests packing their cars with random numbered objects. Whoever had the highest accumulative score would win. The teams were distinguished by the shirts, which were Jesse, Jordan, Natalie, and Russell, and the ties, which were Jeff, Kevin, Lydia, and Michelle. The shirts team ended up pulling out a close win by only 11 points, earning them and Shima the screening. On top of winning, the 5 of them got to choose between 5 commission checks to see who would win an additional $10,000, which Russell ended up winning.
Congratulations, Russell, you won $10,000.
I know I'm a target this week, so I had to control my emotions because everyone was jealous, everyone was angry they didn't win $10,000.
The screening itself, just like previously, came in the following episode 15. Directly following a heated argument between Shima and Russell, which definitely bled into the reward.
Dude, I'm so happy right now.
Can we also get a muzzle too?
Yeah, he needs one really bad.
We can go all day long.
No,
let's I was gonna say.
We're watching a movie.
Please,
knock it off.
I think the screening definitely garnered a better reception than the last, especially thanks to Russell's confessional commending Jeremy Piven. On top of that, we love to see the house guests taking the candy out of the room.
Jeremy Piven, I'm taking my hat off to you. You did a phenomenal job. The movie was absolutely hilarious. I laughed nonstop throughout.
Following Rachel's second HOH win in week 4 of Big Brother 12, the houseguests got the chance to compete for a screening for the film The Other Guys starring Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell. Yet again, Will Ferrell seems to pull the most authentic reaction from the houseguests, as they all seem to be genuinely enjoying the trailer. As the film revolved around police, the competition was themed as such, with the houseguests going through an obstacle course. Watching Kathy be the caboose in a challenge themed around her job was pretty entertaining, as were Reagan's reactions in the DR.
Whenever Kathy is on your team, it's like that movie Weekend from Bernie's. Hold on. So you're just carrying around a dead body through the competition.
As confident as the final team of Hayden, Enzo, and Brendan were, they proved themselves by being the winners. And unlike previous competitions, Rachel was automatically entitled to seeing the film just for being HOH, which Brendan was more than enthusiastic about.
I can't tell you how excited I am. I get to finally take my girl on a date. I've never got to make out with Rachel in a movie, so I'm pretty much looking forward to it.
With the screening happening after the next episode's veto comp, Hayden ended up having to endure a punishment of 24 hours in solitary confinement before watching the movie. The screening was a great reward to follow the punishment up with, as Hayden, as well as the other three, seemed to really like the film. Rachel even went as far as to say it was her favorite of all time, which I kinda find hard to believe, but hey, at the very least, she had a good time watching it, so nothing but love for her. Also, applause for them taking advantage of the candy and soda. Yes.
The Other Guys was the best movie I've ever seen. It was so good.
As reward competitions began to die out over the last 10 or so years of Big Brother, to my knowledge, it took up until Big Brother 23 to see a screening appear again. For the final 9 veto competition, there was an additional reward tied in for the winner to choose 3 other people to see the film Dear Evan Hansen. Claire seemed to know more about the source material than anyone, so she was definitely the frontrunner to root for winning.
Oh my gosh! I know Ben Platt from Dear Evan Hansen. Hello, he was in the initial musical on Broadway. If you don't know what Dear Evan Hansen is, what are you doing with your life?
With Dear Evan Hansen being set in high school, the competition was also themed around that, with the houseguests also having to sort pictures of their former peers in chronological order. Hannah ended up pulling out her first win of the summer here, choosing Kylan, Xavier, and Sarah Beth to join her for the movie. Unlike the last few entries, we do get to see the 4 of them watch the film in the same episode, where the first reaction of Kylan just being happy to watch any movie seemingly resonated with the rest of them. Each of the 4 seemed to have their own emotional reactions to the film in one way or another, which was nice to see, regardless of what the film's actual critical reception ended up being.
Oh my god, that was so good!
Well done. Well done.
Standing ovation, standing ovation. Oh, Kai.
It's okay, buddy.
Group hug.
Group hug.
I was elated to see the reward appear again just a season later in episode 24 of Big Brother 24, where the houseguests got the opportunity to watch an advanced screening of the film Bros. The reward was combined with the veto competition, which involved houseguests filling up a large receptacle with a tiny wine glass after making multiple trips over a slippery surface. There was also a tinier receptacle next to it that they could fill to get a larger tumbler to pour in more rosé quicker than the tiny wine glass, which ended up being tried by Turner and Brittany. Of course, however, this was to no avail, as they were amongst the competition beast Michael Bruner, who won his 5th veto and 7th competition overall. As the film revolved around a gay romance, it was most fitting that he was the one to win, so I was super happy for him. When it came down to picking the other 3 to join him, he strategically chose Turner, Alyssa, and Taylor, leaving Brittany, Kyle, Monty, and Terrence out of it. Also, shout out to Terrence for telling them to bring back some candy for him.
Somebody bring me back a red vine.
Billy Eichner is a super talented comedian as is, so I wasn't shocking to see how much all 4 of the houseguests enjoyed the movie. Despite a poor performance at the box office, the movie went on to garner strongly positive critical reception. Possibly the most well-reviewed film Big Brother has ever shown.
I loved the movie Bros. Not only was it hilarious, but I think it was also really authentic in its portrayal of gay relationships, and I think that's really important. Hayden, get ready, because I'm taking you to see this movie again once I get out of the house.
At last, we have arrived at the most recent season of Big Brother 25, where the houseguests got the chance to watch an early screening of The Exorcist Believer. As a big horror fan myself, I was extra excited for the houseguests, even if David Gordon Green's last film was a steaming pile of shit. Being in the scary verse, the competition required houseguests to search through the darkness for 4 clues to eventually place around the 2 girls to exorcise them. While Blue definitely seemed genuinely scared, I liked how she tried putting on a show as opposed to America, who was frustratingly annoying throughout. I've really been enjoying what Matt has brought to this season, and his DRs during this challenge are no exceptions.
Candle.
Oh, hell no. Oh, damn.
I can't be a wuss, and I just gotta keep focused on finding that item in this room. Possessed little girl is scarier than anything because they're so innocent and cute, but they want to kill you, so you don't know what to do.
Eventually, it was revealed that Cameron had the lowest time, securing his second veto win and 5th comp win overall. He didn't have too hard of a time picking 3 more house guests to join. The first 2 being Jag and Matt, as they had recently solidified the Fugitives Alliance, and the third being Blue because he wants her working with them. While their reactions suggest the film was absolutely horrifying, the reviews definitely are not singing the same tune. I'd love to believe the movie is as good as they each said it was in their DRs, but I just can't buy it.
The Exorcist Believer was incredible.
Scary!
It was a play on a classic with a twist revved up to 10.
I think the only option I have at this point is to go see it for myself and crack the case. Alright, so I just got back from the movie like less than an hour ago at this point, and I just wanted to throw what I immediately thought on screen right now. This movie was absolutely horrendous. It exceeded my expectations. I didn't even have any, but it was just a terrible movie. I am someone that watched David Gordon Green's movie last year, Halloween Ends. I thought that was horrendous. I am baffled. Like, this is only supposed to be the first of 3 movies. There are so many movies that have copied the concept of the original to a degree, and they've done it in such a way that far better than this. I could ramble on about this movie all day. I'll throw the review that I put up on Letterboxd on the screen right now. You can pause it if you want. That could summarize my thoughts to a degree. But yeah, if you want my take, don't see this movie.
The Exorcist Believer was incredible.
Cameron, I'm very disappointed in you.
Shout out David Gordon Green!
Blue, how could you shout out David Gordon Green? What is this? Like, stop. And with that eventful conclusion, we've reached the end of every movie reward across Big Brother. On a side note, I really wish there were more competitions for either food or reward exclusively. The tension brought by players losing challenges and thereby food as a result can be super entertaining. Who knows, perhaps I'll make a video talking about the best someday. Especially after being put through the ringer tonight, my interest has also been piqued in reviewing and ranking all the films, so maybe that could happen down the line. And for the 2 comments on my real world video asking about the worst roommates video, don't worry, I got you. But regardless, thanks a ton for watching all the way to the end of the video. Y'all already know, like if you like, dislike if you dislike, and until whatever and whenever my next video is, always remember, enjoy yourself.